Baltimore, October 1849. Rain was sliding down gas lamps. A man stumbles through Lombard Street in Russian clothes, whispering a name no one recognizes. Reynolds. He collapses. This is how Edgar Allan Poe leaves the world. Now, we return to how he entered it. 1811. A Richmond theatre. Elizabeth Arnold Poe sings while blood stains her handkerchief. Behind the curtain, her 2-year-old son watches silently. She smiles at him. Days later, she's buried. His father had already vanished. Edgar becomes an orphan before he can form memory. And something in him decides that the dead will never truly leave. He's taken into the home of John Allan, a wealthy, distant man. The house is large, respectable, emotionally hollow. Edgar grows up reading graveyard poetry, Gothic romances, Latin elegies. He writes poems about loss before he's 10. Sadness becomes his native language. Allan wants him to be a businessman. Edgar wants eternity. They fight. Edgar runs. He gambles, he starves, he joins the army under a false name. He later enters West Point, then deliberately destroys his own career by refusing drills. He does not want rank. He wants permanence. In the 1830s, stories are polite and moral. Poe does something radical. He believes a story must be read in one sitting, so the emotional spell is never broken. He invents the modern short story. The unreliable narrator, psychological horror, the detective story, literary criticism, forensic reasoning in fiction. He does not write plots. He builds psychological traps. Now Poe begins building the inner mansion of his mind. Each story becomes a room. The Telltale Heart, where a man insists he is sane. There is no ghost, only guilt. Poe invents the unreliable mind. In The Black Cat, alcoholism becomes horror. Self-destruction becomes confession. In The Pit and the Pendulum, terror without monsters give us pure sensory panic. Virginia Clemm is pale, musical, and already sick. Edgar marries her knowing she will die. He loves her as if outrunning time. She coughs blood into white cloth. He writes women who fade, return, whisper, haunt. In The Fall of the House of Usher, a family rots, a house cracks, a mind collapses. Architecture becomes psychology. Ligeia gives us a grief that refuses to die. Love becomes possession. In his The Oval Portrait, art consumes life. The Mask of the Red Death is made up of the rich hide. Death walks in any way. Poe invents philosophical plague horror. In his The Bird Enters, Virginia is dying. Edgar is poor. The black enters his mind. The Raven, where grief becomes hypnosis. Nevermore becomes a wound that never closes. America trembles. Virginia keeps dying. And then Virginia dies in 1847. Edgar collapses. He sleeps beside her coffin. He writes resurrection stories. He drinks. He begs God with ink. In the cask of Amontillado, there is polite revenge. The murders in the Rue Morgue is where Dupin is born. The detective is born. Sherlock Holmes is waiting. Annabel Lee talks about love beyond death. Eureka is about cosmic philosophy, proto-Big Bang. In 1849, Poe disappears. He's found in Russian clothes muttering unknown names. He dies 4 days later. Cause unknown. Like one of his own stories. Virginia Woolf inherits his interior terror. Catherine Mansfield inherits his fragile grief. Lewis Carroll inherits his dream logic. Then comes J.R.R. Tolkien, who inherits his shadowed myths. Modern literature is born from his darkness. Poe did not write monsters. He wrote the haunted mind. And once he taught the world how to enter that house, we never truly came out again.